Thanks, Goose. Okay, guys, it's time to take a look at Stonehearth.
Hang on a sec, Hex. Didn't we look at that just a few weeks ago?
Negative. That was Hearthstone.
Ah, so what's this?
Well, this is Stonehearth.
Ah, confusing. Stonehearth is basically Minecraft meets a city builder. This game isn't fully finished yet, but it does have a lot of features already, so we thought we'd take a look.
Like most city builders or even Minecraft, there isn't any goal to reach or way to beat the game. You just have to build a little town and keep your people fed and safe from monsters, but how you do that is completely up to you. There's no tutorial at the moment though, so you'll have to figure things out for yourself, but we get the hang of the basics pretty quick.
To start with, you select a spot on a randomly generated map to call home. Then your little band of settlers is dropped into the world with nothing but a fireplace and a few tools to their names.
Tools are essentially how you put a settler into a career. Give them a sword and they become a soldier. Give them a blacksmith's hammer, and you guessed it, they become a blacksmith. And anyone without a tool is basically a worker bee who goes around doing all the busy work.
Affirmative. You're only given a carpenter's saw and a trapper's knife to begin with, but that's enough to start growing your settlement. Your trapper can start collecting food, while your carpenter can craft other tools, as well as various parts for your buildings.
You almost have no direct control over your little people. Instead, you set up areas for them to harvest materials, plant farms, store resources, and that sort of thing. And then they just go at their own pace, doing whatever suits them, and they regularly put down tools to sleep and eat.
It can be a bit of a mystery at times, just what they're going to do. I mean, I'm sure there's some logic to it all, but you want to be a bit careful about assigning them to too many tasks at once, because that can confuse them.
Affirmative. Bugs are to be expected in an unfinished game, but even so, it's worth mentioning the AI is somewhat unpredictable. Somehow, they regularly manage to get stuck in the air.
I mean, how do they even do that?
Oh, it's a mystery, Hex. And at one point, they simply stopped building a structure, and there was no way to destroy it or continue building it. It just sat there, unfinished, forever.
Yeah, this drives me crazy. Can you imagine a game like Minecraft or a city builder with no way to demolish buildings? It boggles the mind. I am boggled.
Perhaps it's a feature they've yet to add in.
Well, I hope so, because it's a pretty essential feature in my opinion. Anyway, I did like how you're free to design buildings however you want and save those designs to use again. Or you can just use a few pre-designed structures.
I found designing anything more complicated than a simple house a bit fiddly. The camera is tough to wrangle, and the grayed out blueprint is hard to see any detail in, so it's tricky to see what you're actually doing.
There are two gameplay modes available with normal and peaceful options. In the normal mode, monsters like skeletons and goblins will randomly spawn in and attack your town, or try to steal your resources. They'll also occasionally set up nearby bases and even make demands that you have to meet to stop them from attacking you. Make it stop.
I did like setting up my own little raiding parties to go on the offensive and take down bases. But you definitely don't want to let any of your people perish because they're such an essential resource and you don't have many of them.
Yeah, and the only way to get more people is if you hit certain milestones. Then, at the end of a day, a new person will offer to join you if you've reached them.
The milestones seem oddly balanced. For example, we had 3 stockpiles of food full to the brim, and that still wasn't enough to attract a 20th resident. There's just no relation between how much food you actually need for your people and how much you need to get a new person.
Yes, but despite these little problems, I had a pretty good time with this. The art style is charming and it's satisfying building up your little community while fighting off monsters. And most of the issues that we had are the sort of thing that gets fixed when a game nears completion.
Yeah, and they are planning to add more cool stuff in the future, like multiplayer and boss fights. It's definitely enjoyable at the moment, but you should go into this expecting a few bugs. But overall, I'm excited to come back and see this once it's actually finished.
Affirmative. Now it's time for another installment of Coding Corner. Roll the tape, Carrie.